We are live. Merry Christmas.
Good morning, or afternoon actually. You get kind of mixed up coming down from the North Pole this busy time of year. I just wanted to come into Yakima and say hello to all you good little boys and girls out there, and just wishing that we could have been together and have a couple of you come and tell me what you wanted for Christmas. But here's your chance to talk to me live. So go ahead, ask your questions. Do we have anything?
Not yet. Nobody signed on just yet.
I want to introduce Mrs. Claus and my chief elf.
I don't have. All right, so Gabriella, Caleb, and 3 others are on.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Hello, Gabriella. Hello, Caleb. How are you today?
Quite a few coming on and watching. Nobody said anything yet. You guys gotta say what you'd like for Christmas.
Who's going to be the first to ask me a question?
Aurora said, hello Santa, love Millie, Ivana, Cole, and Cade.
I'll love back to you all. Hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas, okay? And hang on a second. They're all on the good list, aren't they?
I think so.
We think you're all on the good list, so just keep up whatever you've been doing, and I'll see you Christmas Eve night.
We had a question of what is it like for you during this COVID pandemic?
The COVID pandemic has been very hard. The elves can't work very close together. We've had to make our workshop bigger, but things are moving right along. Don't worry about that. We had the Pixies and Fairies come up and help us add on to our workshop. So we're under full production, and we're right on schedule for Christmas Eve.
Some things are more important than COVID.
That's true.
Veer wants to tell you that he needs a toy submarine and an Avengers action figure.
Oh, wow. Which Avengers action figure?
And then Faith said hello, as well as Victoria and Violet.
What?
And Desmond.
Oh, my goodness sakes. There's a bunch of you out there.
And then Matthew was worried that you going to be able to deliver presents since
Matthew, I will be able to deliver presents. One of the things I do is I take my beard and I fold it up and I put a mask over it, and it's kind of like an extra filter. So I will be coming to everybody's homes Christmas Eve. Don't worry.
Jade and Lizette wanted to know if they were on the good list, and I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Actually, anybody that asks if they're on the naughty or nice list, when they come up here, if you're on the naughty list, there's like a big lump of coal next to your name. So far everybody that I've talked to has been on the nice list. You have to be pretty bad to hit the naughty list, to be quite honest with you, because I pretty much love all kids. Don't tell anybody. I was a kid once myself. Oh, how many reindeers are boys and how many of the reindeer are girls? If anybody can answer that question, I'd like to hear your answer. Anybody out there? We got Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen.
There's normally about a 15-second lag.
Okay, we'll wait. Oh, and 2 reindeer actually come from not the North Pole, but from around Norway and that area of the country, Donner and Blitzen. They're actually from there because they've got names from the Vikings. Donner and Blitzen means thunder and lightning because they're very fast.
We had a question of what cookies do you like?
Oh, a better question would be what cookies I don't like. So far in all my lives and all the time I've been Santa Claus, I've only met one cookie that I didn't like, and that was a mud cookie. I don't like mud cookies. But pretty much any other cookie is good.
And that's very true. I know,
Yeah.
I bake a lot of them.
Yes,
So,
she does.
Sarah said they were all boys, and Matthew said they're all girls.
Okay, the right answer is half of them are boys and half of them are girls. Dasher and Dancer, Prancer and Vixen, Comet Cupid, Donner Blitzen. One of each of those pairs is a boy, and one is a girl. Donner and Blitzen, Donner's the girl, and Blitzen's the boy. Although Dasher and Dancer, you'd think that Dasher was the guy and Dancer was the girl, but it's just the opposite. Dasher's the boy and Dancer's the girl and Dancer's the boy. How many of you know when I use Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer?
Let's see.
Anybody? Oh, I got one other question for you. Who has elf on the shelf named Theodore? Because I've got a special message for you if you're online. Theodore's elf on the shelf. He's got a message for you.
Oh, Aurora said it's when it's foggy outside is when you use Rudolph.
When it's foggy outside or when it's really rainy. So I use Rudolph a lot around Seattle because they have a lot of rain. Who knows the name of my spare reindeer? The one that I've got that can fill in for somebody that isn't really normally part of my team, but he's in the North Pole with us. Like if Dasher got sick, who would fill in for him? Anybody got an idea? So we'll wait on that one. Nobody's got a elf on the shelf named Theodore?
No one yet.
Okay, well, we'll find him because he's got a special message. Okay, the name of my spare reindeer is Harold. Yep. You never hear about him because he just stays back in the North Pole most of the time. I've only used Harold one time, and that's when I came down to Yakima to visit, and I used Rudolph because it was foggy and Harold for the second reindeer. Because the other reindeer were getting ready for Christmas Eve, and I didn't want to get one of them tired out. Last year when I came down here to sit in the chair here at the Harman Center visiting with you, those were the two reindeers I used.
So far we have only elf on the shelves named Elfie, Olive, Glitter, and Candy Cane.
Oh, Candy Cane. Candy Cane is one of my more talkative elves on the shelf. Yeah, been doing a lot of stuff around your house, been watching a lot of things, so just remember, boys and girls, you can't touch your elves because you make them go to sleep and their magic stops for a little bit. So you can look at them, don't touch them though. Candy Cane got touched last year, and yes, there's still a little bit of aches in the arm muscle where they got touched, okay? So, but anyway, take care of your elves on the shelf. They stay in touch with me quite a bit.
Oh, and Christina asked if you would please tell Faith to please study homework every day, and her elf on the shelf is named Jack.
Oh, okay. So you're the Faith. Okay. Let me tell you something. It is important, very important, to study and to learn. There are a lot of things that you can learn about that are really interesting and fun to know. You know, like when I was going to school, we didn't have the internet. We wrote on clay tablets and we pretty much just put rocks down in the sand counting and stuff like that because it was a long, long, long time ago. But I've learned through the years, and I went from learning how to count by putting rocks down and counting the rocks to being able to use a computer. It's pretty amazing, and if I didn't want to learn, I never would have been able to learn how to do stuff more than count on with rocks.
And then it would have been hard to keep up with all of the kids.
Oh yeah, because there's more than 20 of you. I only had 20 rocks.
We have a question of what food do the reindeer like, and can I give them carrots?
You most certainly can give them carrots. They love carrots. They love celery. Prancer likes black olives. Don't ask me why. Kind of a black olive. But almost any type of vegetable or fruit, oranges, apple slices especially, are favored by reindeer. No hot dogs, no hamburgers.
No kumquats.
Oh yeah, kumquats, nope.
And then we had a question of who is your favorite elf, and where are the elves right now?
Oh, the elves are all up in,
You've got one elf sitting right there. That's a loaded question.
I know. The elves are all up in the North Pole right now. They're finishing up wrapping. There were a lot of presents made this year. They have to get them all wrapped and ready to go and in my sack. I don't really have a favorite elf. That's kind of like having a bunch of puppies and saying which one is your favorite puppy. They're all cute, they're all adorable, and they're all lovable. So I guess my favorite elf would be named all of them.
And then I had a question of, do you talk to Krumpus or Jack Frost?
Krampus. Yes, I do talk to him. And Jack Frost, actually, he and I don't talk so much ever since he tried to take over the North Pole, but we are, we're not enemies anymore. It's just that sometimes he's embarrassed because he tried to take over the North Pole, and he found out that he just had to be Jack Frost. But if you've noticed, since he's stopped doing that, his Frost pictures are much prettier. So that's a good thing. And yeah, Krampus scares me.
Would the reindeers be okay eating candy canes?
Oh, sure. They just have to brush their teeth more.
And then one asked if Big Macs and French fries would be okay instead of cookies and milk.
Yeah. I like Big Macs. I like Kentucky Fried Chicken. I like pizza. But to be honest with you, on Christmas Eve night, cookies and milk are still my favorite.
How many elves are there in total?
Okay. I've got to add up all the different departments. Toy, wrapping, research and development. 37,842,133. 34 if you count Mrs. Claus. She's on the elf list, but she's not really an elf. She's my sweetie pie. Oh, I told everybody your elf name. Anything else?
If it's raining in Seattle, how will you get back to the North Pole, the elf, to make sure that Avir was good today?
Oh, well, you got to understand, there's magic involved. And you know how Harry Potter can touch something and just whoop, go someplace else? Elves, if they touch a candy cane or a Christmas ornament or a Christmas light or a star on the top of the tree or a manger figure, poof, right to the North Pole they go. So it doesn't make any difference what the weather's like.
And Avir asked for you to say hello to you.
Pardon me?
Avir asked to please say hello to you.
Oh, hello there, how are you?
Avir, I hope you have a very, very wonderful Christmas.
Did she sit on my lap last year?
I don't know. And then, Lizette said hello as well.
Oh, hello, Lizette.
Hello?
Oh my goodness sakes. I just got a news flash. 4 more kids in Yakima moved from the naughty list to the nice list.
Yay!
Yes.
The news flash has come over my little puff. See, these are speaker wires, and those go up into my hat and to my ears, so I can hear what the elves are saying. Good job, kids. I'll get the 4 names later and let you know who you are tonight.
I see. Looks like we don't have any more questions right now.
Okay. I'm going to tell you a story about Christmas. All right? And it's how stockings had to become kind of standardized, like the stockings behind us. back a long time ago, a little boy was going to school, and he came from a German family. And their family came over here to America. So when Christmas rolled around, he put out his shoes, because that's what they did in Germany. Okay? Well, he was in kindergarten, so his shoe was only like this big. Well, his friend who lived in England was able to put up a stocking. Now the stocking was this long, okay? Because it went all the way up to, back then, stockings went all the way up to your knee and down to your toes. So when Christmas rolled around, the little boy from Germany, he got an orange balanced on the top of his shoe because he really couldn't get too much inside that shoe. And of course, in the stocking for the little boy from England, I was able to put candy canes. I think I put a trumpet in it and other stuff. And the little boy next year from Germany wrote me a letter saying it just wasn't fair. So I got together with all the elves, and the elves got together with people that talked to parents, and the parents decided to start using bigger stockings for Christmas. So that's why you don't have to put up little socks and use little shoes to have me put things in them for you. And that's why I have special Christmas stockings. We got any questions?
We sure did. Matthew wants to make sure that you can send Santa's magic to send kisses and hugs to his grandmother.
Oh, Matthew, that's a wonderful thing. I will send kisses and hugs to your grandmother. And can I send her my Christmas gift of hugs and kisses too? And I assume you're going to say yes. So Mrs. Claus and I will both send her our love too. Okay?
How do you ride the sleigh all in one day?
How do I what?
Ride the sleigh all in one day.
Okay. I'll show you something. Okay? I'm going to go into Christmas mode. All right? Are you ready? I'm going to touch my nose. You want to see it again? Okay, I'm going to touch my nose 400 times. Okay. It's so fast you can't see it. Because I can touch it. I mean, I can just do this like you can see it. But when I do Christmas magic, that was 40 times I just touched my nose. Okay? So, when I get my sleigh and I turn the Christmas magic on, I can go anywhere I want that fast. Okay?
Zeke and Gail both said hello.
Oh, hi.
And Myra has cookies for you and carrots as well. And then Maria asked, are you allergic to peanut butter?
Oh, good question. No, I'm not. The last thing I was allergic to was, let's see, what was it? I think it was nothing. Oh, yeah, I was allergic to nothing. Wait a second. Next question. That was a joke, kids. No, I'm not allergic to anything.
And then we had another question. What is your favorite cookie?
Okay. I like egg white cookies, meringue cookies. I like chocolate chip cookies. I like oatmeal raisin cookies. I like Linserschnitzen. I like sugar cookies. I should stop now because I could just keep on going. We got to get to other. Oh, wait a second. I also like lemon bars. I like Oreos. And it's not really a cookie, but s'mores. Oh, now,
And peanut butter cookies.
I like all
brownies
cookies, okay?
and
Yeah, that's true.
blondies
Well,
and-
brownies aren't really a cookie, but yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah.
Isaac asked if you were coming to Yakima.
Yes, I am. I am absolutely coming to Yakima. Actually, right now, I'm in Yakima.
Let's see. No more questions for right now.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, do you know that ornaments used to be little carvings and little figures, and they were actually put on trees like little prayers? Over in Japan, when somebody wants to send a prayer up, they'll take a piece of paper, they'll write a little prayer or a little request, and they'll put it on a tree and let the wind take it off, and to the people that need to answer their prayers or requests. So on Christmas trees, people would put these little figurines on their trees, and it would be like asking for a good harvest, or maybe a roast for dinner, or a goose, or a present for their brother, or something like that. And after a while, people figured out that they didn't have to make the little ornaments, that they could just ask for it directly, but they enjoyed making the ornaments so much they just kept doing it. True story.
Have you ever taken Mrs. Claus out to deliver with you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Mrs. Claus helped me a lot. There was one year that I kind of, I went down a chimney too fast and I kind of turned my ankle. So we sent emergency requests, and Harold brought Mrs. Claus out, and she finished delivering for me because I kind of just hobbled around. Didn't make a good landing in the fireplace that year. So, yeah, but I went with her. I mean, I went with her. We were together. But yeah, she saved my bacon that year.
Do you get timeouts?
Do I get timeouts? Yeah. I got a timeout not too long ago when Mrs. Claus made a big batch of fudge, and I took it out to the stable area, and the reindeer and I ate it all. So the reindeer didn't get in trouble because I brought the fudge out, but I got in trouble because Mrs. Claus was making it for the elves. So yeah, I got a timeout.
So even though Santa's in charge, he can still have someone tell him a truth.
That's right.
That's right.
So the next question, have you, this is for Mrs. Claus, have you ever had to put Santa in his place if he's gotten mad or out of line?
Santa doesn't, I mean, it takes an awful lot to make Santa mad. I think the only time I ever saw him mad was when someone was mean to a child. And
I don't.
he
yeah.
was very upset about that. We have a very open relationship. We just talk things through.
And
There's nothing that you can't accomplish without yelling.
If I don't listen to her right away, she throws a lump of coal at me. And usually
and I'm
she
a pretty
misses.
Good shot.
Usually she misses anything important, but I have been gonked on the head a couple of times.
We have a hello from Jade.
Oh, hi, Jade.
Hi,
Zachary.
Jade. Welcome.
Oh, Zach. I think Zach sat on my, or it might have been a different Zach, but I think Zach sat on my lap last year.
And then Isaac asked to please don't forget his present.
Isaac,
Never.
you're on the list. And from what I understand, you've been a good boy.
That's it for now.
You know what? There are only 2 more days until Christmas. Well, actually, there's 3. But I count Christmas Eve because that's when I go to work. But there's 2 more days till Christmas. And what I would like you all to do, because this has been kind of a weird year, and I would like you all to remember that Christmas is all about giving, okay? It's not about getting. It's about giving. That's what I enjoy the most, giving you toys, bringing you presents, okay? So I want you to sit down and think about all the people around you that even though the year is a little bit weird, they're with you, they love you. If they can't be with you, they're thinking of you, and give them your love right back. Think about them and just be happy that you have them in your lives, okay? Because that's what Christmas is all about. It's about giving, okay? So give your love to those you love.
And don't forget to tell those people that they're important to you.
Yeah, even if it's your little sister. I know how big brothers can be. That's why a lot of boys end up on the naughty list.
And sometimes sisters too.
Oh, yeah.
We had a question of what is your favorite color, as well as what is your favorite color, Mrs. Claus?
I would have to say red.
I love red, but in the summertime I like yellow.
That's true. She does wear a lot of yellow in the summertime. In the summertime, though, I will wear blue,
Yeah, you do.
but a lot of red. I mean, if you had to ask me, pick out one color, I would say red.
Evangeline says hello,
Hi, Evangeline.
as well as Cade, and he says he loves you.
Oh, I love you too, Kate. And hello, Evangeline.
And then Caleb said he doesn't want anything for Christmas, and all he does want is everyone to be happy and smile and enjoy their time with their family.
Caleb, you are very special. That is a wonderful, wonderful thought.
And that's the reason for Christmas.
Sophia and Omar asked for a big candy for a present.
Like a skyscraper big candy, or how big a candy?
We'll get you a big candy.
Okay.
Bigger than they can fit in their mouth.
Okay.
Victoria wants to know what's your favorite movie.
Ooh. I think my favorite movie of all time, Christmas movie now, because there are other types of movies, It's a Wonderful Life. Okay? It's an old movie, it's in black and white, but it's a good movie about Christmas. Okay? Especially for people this year. Because sometimes you might feel like the year is beating up on you. So if you want to see a good Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life.
Millie and Ariaga said that they love violet as their favorite color. Marcella said she likes red though too.
Violet is a good color, but I like red too, Jim.
And then, what do you love best about Seattle?
I think what I love best about Seattle is how green everything is. They've got so many trees and so much green around them. It's just, everything is just full of life. But you know what I love about Seattle? How well you can see long distances. I mean, you can get up on top of ridge lines here in Yakima, and it's like you can see forever. So I think I would say Seattle, all the trees and green and stuff.
And
Ocean's kind of cool, but it scares me sometimes because it can get pretty wavy and blowy out there. And there's no place for the reindeer to land.
Evangeline says she is worried you will not bring her presents because she hasn't been listening and has been misbehaving, but she wants you to know that she is trying. So please don't mark her off your list.
Okay, Evangeline, I'll tell you what is the most important thing. What you have in your heart. And you need to try to listen better, and you need to try to be better. But as long as you're honestly trying, as long as you're really trying, you'll stay on the nice list. But I gotta tell you something. It's important that you listen. Because when you listen, you learn. And you find out how to do things. And that's important, okay? So you listen to people.
Can each of you sing?
Well, I've got 4 notes, but they don't match. I try to, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle. But that, it's not anything I'd make a record with.
Marcella's elf apparently is making s'mores today.
Oh, elves like s'mores.
No,
They
the elf is making s'mores?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hey,
That's really industrious. What's her elf's name?
Marcella, if you could put out your elf's name.
You can check to see if that elf went to your s'mores making class.
Well, I can, but I can also give him Gold Star.
Gold
for
Star up in
going
North
above
Pole,
and
yeah.
beyond,
What is your favorite Christmas candy?
Okay, you probably haven't seen them, but they're hard candies, and inside of them, they're usually green or red on the outside, and then they go into white, and in the middle they have a wreath. And that's my favorite Christmas candy, and those have been around for, gosh, I don't know, I think, I think Jack Frost made the first ones back in like the 1700s. But Jack Frost, his hobby is making candy. But yeah, those would be my favorite Christmas candy.
Do you have a favorite reindeer?
Wow. Harold. Harold's my favorite reindeer. He plays tricks on the other reindeers all the time. Like, he colored in Rudolph's nose one time, and everybody thought Rudolph was Vixen because they couldn't see his red nose. Yeah, so I would say Harold.
Oh, Marcella's elf is named Buddy.
Buddy.
Okay, well, put a
Marcella,
gold,
we're going to give Buddy a gold star.
Yep.
Thanks for sharing.
and maybe a candy cane. Well, how about a gold star with cross candy canes?
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
All
I
right.
like that.
Victoria says she's been very good and saying her prayers every night.
Okay, Victoria, thank you very much, and thank you for saying your prayers, because he is the reason for the season. I mean, that's where the holiday gets its name from. Okay, so keep saying your prayers like a good little girl, and we will see you on Christmas Eve.
Do you like spicy food?
Yes and no. I like spicy foods, but they don't really like me all the time. So it's kind of hard when you're trying to deliver presents on Christmas Eve, and you get a bad case of the burps. So, yeah, I like spicy food, but only when I can safely eat it.
Are you a fan of Taco Bell?
Well, I love Taco Bell. Taco Bell rings my bells. That's a joke.
Do you like going around the world putting presents under the tree?
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. The best part of that is sometimes after I've delivered all the presents, I'll go back to homes and I'll peek and watch the kids open their presents up. And I really like that.
Chance says, "Hey Santa," and then Marcella asked if you would be shipping presents or actually bringing them just because of COVID.
If your parents want the presents shipped, we will ship them. If your parents say that we can come and deliver them, we will deliver them. Okay? But it's up to your mommy and daddy.
And then what makes the reindeer fly?
Magic.
And then I have a question of why do you always come through the chimney?
Okay, a long time ago, when I was very young, and before everybody knew about me, I used to actually throw money up to a chimney and down the chimney so that it would get into people's homes. The reason I did that is that way I didn't have to go in their house and they didn't feel like somebody was breaking into their homes. Once people got to know me and once people thought I was okay, then I could go down the chimneys and leave presents instead of just coins. So that's why I go down the chimney. It's kind of a tradition.
Do you have a favorite Christmas song?
There are so many Christmas songs. I mean, if I was in Germany, I'd say O Tannenbaum. I would say The Little Drummer Boy is probably my favorite.
My favorite's Oh Holy Night.
That's that one. There's so many that I just love. It's hard to pick a favorite.
Nicholas is wondering if you like to make toys.
Oh, you couldn't stop me from making toys.
Do you have a favorite toy?
My favorite toy is a ball. I love balls. You can throw them, you can kick them, you can smack them with a stick, you can bounce them on the ground, you can toss them through hoops, you can play catch with somebody else, you can throw them for your dogs. Yeah, I would say the ball is my all-time favorite toy.
Now, if you don't have a chimney, how do you get in?
I've got a magic key. Where's my black? Would you get my black?
Sure.
I'll show it to you, okay? Okay. I know it's in here somewhere. It's wrapped up in a candy cane wrapper. I can't put my fingers in it. Hang on a second. I got one easy to get at. I've got one that fell all the way down to the bottom of the candy cane wrappers. Here, hold the bell. Hold the I've been good friends. Hold the I've seen Santa. Over the cows. Hold the magic key.
Grandpa.
What?
Santa.
Oh! There it is. Sometimes it gets lost. You have no idea how many things I've got in my bag. This is my small visit bag. Okay, we'll put all this stuff here again. Thank you for holding. This is a magic bell, and if you can hear it jingle, it means you're a true believer. But yeah, I'll take it off so you can see it. I put it on card so I can find it easily. That's my magic key. I suppose I could tie it on my belt. That's what I should. But I keep it in my bag so I don't lose it. Oh, where did it go?
You'll find it.
I'll find it later.
Why does Rudolph have a red nose?
Okay, that's an interesting thing. Rudolph, when he was just a little tiny reindeer, he said a little prayer to be special. He didn't want to be like all the other reindeer. Now, you might not realize this, but reindeer are the only deer out there that both boys and girls have antlers. Okay? So, having antlers couldn't make them special, and all the reindeer were brown, so that couldn't make them special, and they all had two eyes, so that couldn't make them special. So the fairy that answered his prayer, his request, thought that, okay, Santa's favorite color is red. We will give you a red nose. And to make it special, we'll make it glow. So that's how Rudolph ended up with a glowing red nose.
If it's not Christmas, what do you like to do?
Okay, if it's not Christmas, I like to make toys. I like to eat cookies. I like to make toys. I like to have snowball fights. I like to go sledding. I like to make toys. I like to eat. I like helping Mrs. Claus make cookies. Well, I taste test the cookies. I like to barbecue.
Santa makes a mean hot chocolate.
Yeah, I do make. I make really good hot chocolate. I like making candy canes. I like making toys. Stuff like that.
What are you getting Mrs. Claus for Christmas?
You can't ask him that. It's from Claus.
I'm getting her.
Okay, I'm gonna leave because I don't want to.
I'm getting her a new coat. It's all fluffy and warm, and it's got long sleeves and a hood, and she can go out in the snow and that be comfortable. Okay, you can come back. Shh. Don't tell.
Isaiah said hi.
Hi, Isaiah.
And then Chance asked, do you like to play Uno?
Yes, I like to play Uno, but Mrs. Claus is better than me. It seems like when I get down to one card or two cards, she reverses, changes color, changes number, and all of a sudden I end up with 47 cards in my hand. So she's the champion Uno player.
I'm a little lucky.
Annie says hello.
Hello, Annie.
I am.
And they asked if you could do a ho ho ho.
I can do ho ho hos. I can do ho ho hos all day long, but then people they go, stop saying that. Say something else. So then I go ho ho ho. I like to laugh.
Isaac asked if he can come to the North Pole.
You can come to the North Pole when you're old enough to drive yourself, or find some flying reindeer.
Do you like ice cream? And if you do, what's your favorite ice cream?
My favorite ice cream, I would have to say,
Moose tracks.
Nah, Moose Tracks is close, but I would have to say peppermint candy ice cream. Or vanilla.
Do you like to build snowmen?
Yes, I do. And I learned from the best. Frosty the Snowman came up and taught me how to build snowmen. And I get all the different balls for the snowman, perfectly round. And Frosty the Snowman doesn't have a carrot. He's got a button for him. So on my snowman, I put a big button there. But the eyes are made out of coal.
We have a question of what do you give the elves presents, and if you do, what do you give?
Okay, because everything is so hectic around Christmas, we have our own celebration, and it's the day after Christmas. And what we do is we bring one present, and we all go in a room, and we play music, and we move all around the room. You can't walk in a straight line, you just have to kind of go every which way. And when the music stops, you have to stop, and then you give your present to the person or elf. And by person, I mean it could be Mrs. Claus or me standing next to you. But you give the present to the elf. So each elf gives one present, each elf gets one present.
It's quite a fun day.
It is.
It is a great day.
Last year I got socks, but they were only this big. They were all socks.
They ask, why do you always give toys?
I don't always give toys. Sometimes little boys and girls ask for something to eat. Sometimes they ask for clothes. Sometimes they ask for nothing, that we give something special to someone else. So I give toys because I like to make toys, and toys bring joy to children. But it doesn't always have to be a toy. Okay? So like if you decide that you would like a new jacket, you could ask for a jacket. And I'll see what I could do. Okay?
Chance said that he made you cookies today.
Oh, cool.
What kind?
Is it snowing in the North Pole right now?
It snows all the time in the North. Well, it doesn't snow every day, but yeah, there's a lot of snow up in the North Pole. It was snowing when I left, but it was supposed to clear up by tomorrow night. So it should be clear Christmas Eve. So I probably won't have to use Rudolph right away. Probably around Seattle and the West Coast, I might have to have them come out.
Do you have a favorite game?
My favorite game is checkers. Because they have red pieces.
Jackson is, he's wanting a scarf and gloves. And then Shelley says hello.
Hi, Shelley.
Hi, Jackson. How you doing? Love back to you.
That's all we have for right now.
Okay. I would ask that somebody this year put out a napkin along with the milk and cookies, because a lot of times people forget to put napkins out, and I end up with crumbs and stuff in my beard, and it's like, if I could get a napkin once in a while, that would be nice. Okay? Sometimes I get home and Mrs. Claus has to call them out cookie crumbs.
And some of them are sticky.
Yeah, well, like jelly donuts. And little boy sent out jelly donuts from me last year. That was a good jelly donut, but it was squishy.
Zariah says hello.
Well, hello.
Merry Christmas, Lou.
And then Marie said her favorite game is musical chairs.
Oh, well, I didn't even think about games like that. I would say, putting those type of games in, I would say my favorite game would be hide and seek. But musical chairs is fun. My problem is, if I sit down too hard on a chair, a lot of times I break it. So, maybe if I was a little smaller.
What do you do after you deliver all the presents?
I go to bed and go to sleep. Get some nice hot chocolate, and Mrs. Claus has my jammies laid out for me in my nice comfy robe, and I sit down and tell her about what a great time I had giving toys to all you girls and boys. And then I finish my hot chocolate and I go to sleep, and I sleep for about 6 hours.
All the questions for now.
I've got a question for kids out there. How many of you would like to be an elf?
It's a fun job.
It is a fun job. And I want to tell you all something too. And this is the truth. One day, you will find out that you have talked to me in person, and I have watched over you grow up. And all of a sudden you go, oh, I did talk to Santa Claus, and I talked to him on whatever day it was. But you will know that you have met me in person, and you will understand why I know whether or not you've been bad or good, naughty or nice. Okay? And that's a promise. Every one of you.
Mrs. Claus, do you have a favorite game?
I like words, so I like Scrabble.
Don't play Scrabble with her. I was winning by so many points, and the last word she put on the board was like 700,000 points, and I thought I was going to win. She's really good at it, though.
If you get a long word that
You
goes
get-
between 2 triple word scores,
Yeah.
you can make huge amount of points.
Yep. Like more than me.
Jackson and Nicholas said they would like to be elves for free.
Okay, here's how you become an elf. Okay, you help kids that are littler than you. Okay, maybe you make a toy for them, or maybe you teach them how to catch a ball, or maybe you teach them how to color.
Or maybe you teach them to do the right thing.
Yeah, and you do that long enough, and pretty soon you'll find out that you become an elf. And that's the way all my elves became elves.
Isaac asked if he could have a Nerf gun this year.
I see no problem at all with Nerf guns.
I think
And
they're
if you,
great
if,
fun.
the elves are always, they get it in Nerf gun wars, so.
We have
no,
to test them out.
That's right. That's right.
Santa's making light of the fact that sometimes we instigate the Nerf guns.
Well, I use a slingshot, but that's beside the point. Anyway, yeah, Nerf guns are fine.
Do you have a favorite dinosaur?
Oh, Triceratops. My favorite dinosaur. They're actually kind of fun to ride.
All right, that's it for now.
I want to hear from you what your favorite Christmas song is, or your favorite Christmas movie. Because maybe Mrs. Claus and I forgot some. Because we know more than like 100. So, if any of you could come up with your favorite Christmas song or Christmas movie, I'd like to hear that.
AJ says hello to
Oh.
Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Hi, AJ.
Hi, AJ.
And Cassandra wants to be an elf too.
Well, Cassandra,
The more
you
the
know how to
merrier.
do it. You know, I always need elves because there are more kids every year, and I need more elves to help take care of more kids. Excuse me.
Maria, she says she likes Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells is a fun, yeah, well, that's the one I sing that I know most of the words to.
That's Avir's favorite too, is Jingle Bells. And then Maria said her favorite movie is The Grinch.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
I
great
know the
movie.
Grinch.
Yeah.
The Grinch. He's a lot nicer since his heart grew 4 times as large. He's a lot nicer. Before, when it was just a little stony heart, he was kind of nasty to be around. Actually, he's coming
He just-
over for dinner tomorrow night,
Yeah, I
isn't
know.
he?
He just needed a chance to let his heart grow.
Yep.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Favorite movie?
Well, it just says favorite, so I don't know if it's a song or the movie.
Well, both are good. Both are good. Rudolph, when they made a movie about him, the other reindeers were kind of jealous, and so that's why there were movies about Dasher and about Prancer, and Harold doesn't have a movie yet, but maybe we can get him better known.
Harold was one of the reasons why the other reindeer kind of got over their being a little jealous of
Well, that's
Rudolph.
true.
Because he understood that we all shine in different ways.
Omar says he likes Jingle Bells.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Or the fields, no.
You'll have us going to Grandma's house.
That's true. Do you know that jingle bells used to be on the horses? The harnesses that the horses wore, and that's what jingled. Those were the jingle bells. I love riding in sleighs behind horses and reindeer and stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Linda said Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Linda.
Christmas.
And then you got a compliment of you're a good singer.
Oh, thank you. You know, usually people just go, shh, what I sing, but I like to sing. I sing really loud when I'm up in my sleigh, and the reindeer like it.
Ethan says hello.
Hello, Ethan.
Hi.
And then a question of what is your favorite book?
Okay, the book I read the most is the Bible, but my favorite book, boy, there have been so many through the years. Wow, I would have to say Mm, Great Expectations would be my favorite book. My favorite new book would be one of the comic books that are out now. They've got some really good comic books out. Graphic novels. I've called them comic books for so long, to me they'll always be comic books.
Riley says hello to you and Mrs. Claus.
Hi, Riley.
Hi, Riley.
And who did you learn magic from?
Oh, that's an interesting thing. Magic was given to me when it was decided that I should be Santa Claus. And it came with the ability to tell who's naughty and who's nice. It came with the ability to understand all different languages. It came with the ability to slow time down so I could get to where I need to be. Because when I first started out as Santa, before I got my sled, I walked to where I was going. And that's the biggest reason why they gave me the ability to slow down time. But it was, I got my magic from the Heavenly Host.
That's all we have for now.
Wow. Are you still out there, kids? Or are you all making cookies and singing songs?
Or are you having hot chocolate with the marshmallows?
Mm.
That would be a good one.
When we get home.
When we get home.
I like the little marshmallows in mine.
They melt faster.
I know they melt faster.
Yeah.
Some people put the really big marshmallows in because they like to eat them, but I like mine to get all melty and mushy.
They bump your nose. Have you noticed that?
Well, my mustache stops them and that gets really sticky.
Do you have when you're not Santa? Does anybody call you by a different name?
Lots of different names. People know me in a lot of different areas. Just because Christmas is over doesn't mean I disappear. I've been known by names from Adam all the way to Zachariah. So it depends on the people I'm with at the time, the name that they call me. But they all know that I'm Santa. Okay? So, and the interesting thing is, kids can see that I'm Santa easier than adults can see that I'm Santa.
Mrs. Claus, do you have a favorite food?
Fried chicken.
Oh, she makes good fried chicken.
I love fried chicken.
And can you see all the children from the North Pole?
Yes and no. I have to look around. I can't just look out and see the children. But seeing them is different than being with them. So during the year, I spend a lot of time traveling around when I'm taking a break from making toys to just meet children, watch children, listen to what they're asking, seeing how they're behaving. Because naughty and nice isn't earned just in December. It's earned all year long. So
I'm going to interject something because Santa hears voices from all over the world when people are really in need of a gift of love and caring, whatever, and he hears that all the time.
if you're ever worried about whether or not somebody loves you, understand that I love you, and Mrs. Claus loves you, and all of my elves love you. So there's a bunch of people out there that care about you, even if you can't see us. We love you, okay?
Is there a total of how many kids are on the nice list and how many are on the naughty list?
Oh, wow. There are billions of kids on the nice list. Because you got to remember, mommies and daddies are kids to me. You know, I'm a lot older than they are. Naughty kids, probably 800. Is it up to 800 this year? Or?
You know, it's kind of holding right there, but it was at 850 for a while.
That's
so
true.
It's
That's
come
true.
down.
I think it's right around 800, but it's dropping down. I mean, it's amazing how the closer you get to Christmas, the better kids act. So,
No more questions for now.
okay. Who knows one of my other names than Santa Claus? Who can tell me another name that I have other than Santa Claus? We'll wait just a little bit to see if anybody can answer.
Omar asked for a mic for Christmas.
Oh, okay. You like to sing, huh? Any answers to my question?
Nobody yet.
I got so many names. It's kind of fun.
Oh, we have a Nick,
Yep. Nick, St. Nicholas.
Saint Nick.
Yep. Kris Kringle, Benefano, Pape Noel. Lots and lots and lots of different names for me. Father Christmas over in England, they call me Father Christmas.
Père Noël. Okay.
Yep. Père Noël, France. So it depends on where I am. And some people just say, hey, you, when they forget my name.
A lot of people answered Saint Nick, and we did have one with Noel.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool that some of you know my other names for Santa Claus. I'm also known as Santa Claus in the Norwegian area. So lots of different names, lots of kids I see. So, and I see all of you this year.
Oh, and then even one answered Father Christmas.
There you go.
Wonderful.
And if you could give a message to the kids out there, what would you tell them?
I would say to all of you kids, be the best you can be. Whether it's being nice to other people, or trying to keep your room clean, or listening to school, or listening in school, doing homework, chores around the house, or the fun stuff, playing with friends, drawing pictures. Be the best. Try your best at everything, because you would be surprised at how good you can be at things. And don't let anybody ever let you think that you don't matter, because you always matter. You matter to me, and you matter to Mrs. Claus and my elves, and you matter to other people that you may not even know. So just be good, be the best you can be, and most of all, have fun and appreciate what you have. Okay?
Oh, AJ asked if he was on the good or bad list.
Well, I've got an AJ on the naughty list, but he lives in Czechoslovakia, so you're probably on the good list, because you didn't give me your last name, and I don't need your last name. If you don't live in Czechoslovakia, you're on the good list.
Sandra says she likes the Reindeer song.
Oh, yeah.
And then Sandra says she went and took a picture with you on Friday.
Oh, yeah? Well, that was fun.
Did the picture turn out well?
It takes a while for me to answer that.
Mm-hmm.
You know who else helps me watch over kids and find out if they're naughty or nice? The tooth fairy. Yep. The tooth fairy, whenever you lose a tooth, they come and see you. And they sometimes just check with your mom and dad, or they'll just check with the elves that are out and about, whether you've been naughty or nice, and they come back. So, and they can tell if you've been brushing your teeth, just for your information. So, The Tooth Fairy is one of my helpers.
So AJ said he lives in Ohio, so he must be on the good list.
Okay, you're on the good list then. As long as you're not the AJ in Czechoslovakia.
Ethan asked if he was on the good list.
Yeah.
And the Avir said he saw you on the fire truck.
I'd like to go on fire trucks because firemen are great people and they help other people, and people that help people are friends of mine. So yeah, I love riding on fire trucks.
And yes, the pictures did turn out well.
Oh, good.
Wonderful.
Good.
Do you make stockings?
The elves make stockings, and sometimes Mrs. Claus will knit a special stocking. But I never did learn how to knit, so I mean, I suppose I could learn that in the next century or so, but right now, no, I'm not making stockings. Although I do make belts. I do leather work.
Do you like Washington?
I love Washington. Washington is a very beautiful state. You know, it's got everything. It's got mountains, it's got forests, it's got deserts, lakes, rivers, it's got ocean. Yeah, it's a beautiful state.
That's all the questions for now.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I got a game that you can play with little brothers and sisters. Okay, each one of you draw an elf, what you think an elf looks like. And then you give it to your brother or sister and you get one from them. So you each draw a picture of an elf. And then, by looking at the picture, you come up with a name for that elf. So like if Mrs. Claus drew a picture of an elf that was all smiley and dancing, I might name that elf Skippy. Okay? And if I drew an elf for her that was kind of like riding a bicycle, she might name him Speedy. Okay? So you draw a picture of an elf, get with a friend or a brother or sister, you each draw a picture of an elf, exchange the pictures, name the elves, and then put them up for Christmas. And maybe we'll get an elf by that name.
Zachary asked if he was on the good list.
Oh, Zach, you almost missed it, but yeah, you're on the good list.
That's all we have for now.
Okay. Let's see. What could we talk about? How many sleighs do you think I have? Anybody have a guess on how many sleighs do you think I have? Do I have one? Do I have 10? Do I have a million? How many sleighs do you think I have?
Do you have a favorite animal?
Reindeer. Followed closely by dogs. Oh, I also like dolphins a lot. And kittens. I like horses and ponies. And kangaroos. And zebras. I like monkeys.
Elephants?
Oh, I love elephants. Rhinoceroses scare me, but I love them. An octopus is really kind of cool. I can't think of an animal I don't like. Although some of them scare me, like jellyfish.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, they're
Exactly.
pretty scary. But they're beautiful. So, but my favorite animal would be a reindeer or a dog.
So we've had some guesses. Marcella said 39. Cassandra said 5. And Myra said 1.
Okay. Cassandra is close. I have 6. But for sleighs that I don't use anymore, but we keep in storage just in case I need them, I have 38. And I only have one favorite sled or sleigh, and that's the one that Mrs. Claus and I go out for rides together in. So, guess what? You're all right. That was amazing.
Julian asked for a race car game.
Uh-huh.
And then Teresa asked, do you have a favorite Christmas tradition?
Giving presents. Actually, okay, a Christmas tradition. I would say my favorite Christmas tradition is midnight mass. That's my favorite Christmas tradition.
And my favorite Christmas tradition are the 12 days of Christmas, where we spend 12 days after Christmas continuing to see family and friends and sharing baked goods or an ornament for their tree and one another's company and songs, just to keep the spirit of the holiday going a little bit.
That's all the questions we have for now.
Okay. We need to ask a question here. How many kids ever found themselves on the naughty list? Anybody out there ever been on the naughty list where you just got lumps of coal? Oh, let me tell you about that tradition. It's not just lumps of coal, it's also sticks. Okay? And now we give them to bad little boys and girls. Way back when time was old, kids that got sticks or coal for Christmas sometimes felt that they were pretty lucky because that was something that they could get warm with. So little poor boys and girls that got a gift of wood or coal, that was a way for them to stay warm in the winter. Other kids decided that meant that they were naughty. So what I did the next year, all the kids that made fun of the little boys and girls that were given coal and sticks so that they could be warm, the ones that made fun of them, Mrs. Claus and I gave them coal and sticks instead of toys. And we gave the toys and extra coal to the kids that needed it. So that's the tradition, or the tradition of getting coal because you're naughty. It used to be a good gift, but now it just means that you were making fun or that you weren't a nice person.
Do you have something specific that you want for Christmas?
Yeah, I do. I want all of you kids to, this is what you could do for me for Christmas. Go up to your mommy and daddy, go up to somebody that you love, and just give them a hug, and not just a quick one. Give them a hug and hold on to them for a little while and let them know that you love them. That's the best gift you could give to me, because Mrs. Claus and I will feel that love, okay? And it will fill us up. So that's the way you could send me love, is by giving love to your mommy and daddy, or someone else that you love, that takes care of you, or that you want to make extra special in your life.
Cassandra had asked how do you go in every house for Christmas?
Carefully. I try not to break anything. If there's a chimney, I go down the chimney. If there's a door, if there's no chimney, I go through a door. Sometimes people will leave a window open for me, especially like down in Florida or South America where it's warm. They'll leave a window open and I'll come in through the window. But I try to be very careful when I come into the homes, and I just try to be sure that I don't put presents where they can break anything.
AJ asked for a laptop for Christmas. He said he needs one for school.
Oh, yeah. that's important now. We'll see what we can do. I normally don't make electronic toys, but that doesn't mean I don't have some up there. So we'll see what we can do.
And then Marcella asked, how did you get your magic?
It was given to me when I became Santa Claus. I did good stuff for a long time. I became old doing good stuff. That's why I'm gray and a little bit on the pudgy side right now. But for a long time I did good things. And fates, the heavenly hosts, the powers that be, decided, because I loved doing these things, because I loved helping children, that I should be able to do it forever and ever. And they gave me the magic to do that. So it comes from the life that I led. Okay?
And Julian's worried he's on the naughty list.
Ooh, you're right on the line. Be very good from now until Christmas, okay? Be very good. Listen to your mommy and daddy and do good things, all right?
All we have in for now.
Okay. How many of you have ever licked a snowflake out of the air? When the snow's coming down, hold your mouth open and let a snowflake in your mouth. People say that they can't taste the snow, but I think it tastes a lot like candy. At least the snow I've eaten does. Especially the big flakes. I had one flake though that tasted like an Oreo cookie. Then I found out it was an Oreo cookie that Rudolph had thrown it at me. But that's a story for another time.
So AJ and Marcella both said they had tasted snowflakes.
Yummy, huh? Try that the next time there's a snowfall. Go out there and just look up at the sky and open your mouth and let some snow fall in your mouth. It's kind of neat.
And Julian said, okay, he'd be good.
Okay. Yeah, there's still time to get to, well, you're on just barely on the nice list. So there's time to stay on it, but if you do naughty stuff, there you go.
That's it for now.
Wow. How much time? I can't read the clocks anymore. Okay. Really? I thought we've only been at this for a half an hour.
Oh, Jacob asked if he's on the naughty list.
No, you're not. You're on the naughty list as of last month, but you've been good for the last 6 weeks or so. So yeah. A lot of kids start out or get on the naughty list during the summer when you stay out too long, or you try to get your brother or sister to eat a mud pie or something like that. And you go on the naughty list, but usually by the time Christmas rolls around, you're back on the nice list. It takes a lot to get on the naughty list and not so much to get off it. So.
How do the elves get their magic?
They're born magic. Elves, fairies, pixies, gnomes, they're all magic. They just come that way. They come from a magic realm.
And does Rudolph still get made fun of?
Well, they'll tease him sometimes, but they don't make fun of him. It's kind of like teasing, but good teasing. Like, hey, Rudolph. Okay, Rudolph, did you know that you're... Oh, no, this is better. Okay. There was a Viking, and he was named Rudolph the Red. And one day, his wife looked out the window and said, it looks like it's going to be sunny. And Rudolph said, no, it's going to rain. And his wife said to her brother-in-law that it was going to, that if that's the case, if Rudolph said it was going to rain, it's going to rain. And his brother-in-law, Rolf, said, well, how do you know? And she said, Rudolph the Red knows reindeer. So that's a joke. Not too funny. But the jokes that they pull on Rudolph is like they'll cover his nose when he's sleeping, or they'll try to make it blink by putting like a ball on it that will get bigger in the light, and then the light just kind of goes out. It's a magic ball, and the light flashes out and then it goes small, and it makes his nose look like it's blinking.
My favorite one was when Cupid took a firefly, put it on his nose,
yeah.
and tried to pretend that he was just like.
Yeah. That was funny. But his nose really didn't light up.
No.
It was the firefly. He had Rudolph going though.
Yeah, he did.
Rudolph thought that maybe
He
there was
sold
somebody
it.
else out there with a blinky nose.
Yeah.
That was fun. Of course, the best one they did was when they used silly string on Vixen's antlers.
Cool.
Well, and they convinced him that a spider was trying to eat him. Remember that? Ran around the stable trying to get away from the spider. There was no spider.
Myra asked, do the elves move? So I'm guessing, do they move when they're up on the shelves, or if it's on the North Pole?
Okay. Elves on the shelves have to stay still when you're in the room with them. They cannot move. That's the rule. Okay? For them to be able to use their magic and for you to see them, they have to stay still, and they store up their magic so that they can move around when you're not there. That's the problem with touching them, because when you touch them, the magic drains out of them, and then they can't move that night or the next day, and sometimes they just get stuck there. If you just leave them and look at them and watch them, they'll do stuff around your house. I know a little girl just said that her elf on the shelf was making s'mores. So yeah, you gotta kind of leave them alone and they'll do stuff for you. The best one was, I heard about an elf on the shelf that zip-lined from a tree outside through the house. But that's a whole nother thing.
All the questions for now.
Okay. If you have an elf on the shelf, what you might want to do is just kind of keep your back to them, and if you're really quick when you turn around, sometimes you can see them move, but it'll be just a little bit. Okay, their hand might be like this, and you look away and they start moving down their hand, and then it stops as soon as you look at them. So when you look away, their hand might be up here, and when you look back, it might be there just a little bit, but sometimes you can see that they actually moved. So try that. Just look away and just kind of not do anything, and then look back really quick. Sometimes you'll see that they move.
No more questions.
Oh,
I think our viewers are starting to slow down.
are they? How many we got left online?
7 viewers.
Oh, 7 of you? You're still online? Okay, I want to know who's online with me so I can give you gold stars up at the North Pole. Type in your names.
Oh, Cassandra's asking, whose stocking is yours in the back? Right.
Whose stocking is what?
Is yours in the back?
I don't have a stocking here. I fill stockings. My stocking's in my boot.
So Ethan's online, AJ's online, Jackson's online.
Wow.
Hi, Ethan. Hi, AJ. Hi, Jackson.
So for everybody who's out there, what's your favorite thing about Christmas?
Oh, and one of their elves is having a tea party.
Yeah, elves like tea. They definitely like tea. Some of them like coffee, but not many. So you gotta. Tea is good.
All of them like hot chocolate.
They all like hot chocolate. Well, except for Hank. Hank likes just chocolate milk. It's because he's scared. That one time he drank hot chocolate, it was too hot, and he's afraid of burning his mouth. So he just drinks cold chocolate milk. He still puts marshmallows in it. You know.
And then he has the Bob Flip.
Marshmallows don't melt in hot chocolate.
No, they don't.
Or cold milk. They melt in hot chocolate. I must be getting old. I'm getting confused.
No more questions yet.
Okay.
Let's see. How many of you know how old I am? Any guesses? I am over 1,670 years old. That's a long time. And I like Christmas all that time. I've had so many good memories around Christmas, and I've got to talk to so many kids, so many girls and boys, and eventually it got to the point when I first started doing it, times weren't like they are now. You couldn't just walk around with a bag full of toys because people would try to steal it from you. So I kind of had to sneak around, and that's why I went at night, okay? And I had to walk, and there weren't a whole lot of girls and boys. And as there were more and more girls and boys, I had to make more and more toys, and eventually an elf found me and helped me and asked if she could bring some friends to help out next year, and I said yes, and that's when the first 783,000 elves showed up. So we used an old monastery that was abandoned for our first workshop, but then when it got to be too big and we had to protect ourselves from bandits and robbers, we decided to go someplace, and that's when we met Donner and Blitzen, the two reindeer from Norway, and they told us about the North Pole, where we could go and set up a really big workshop. So we went up north and we set up our workshop up there, and that's when the 783,000 elves asked if they could bring a couple friends, and now we've got millions of elves. So, and it's fun. Yeah, we have a lot of fun, and we're up in the North Pole, and even though now it's a lot safer down here and out in the world, we still stay up there because we like snowball fights, we like sledding.
The reindeer like it.
Yeah, I was going to say, and the reindeer like it. And not only that, the northern lights are awesome. Have any of you seen the northern lights? The aurora borealis? I'll wait and see if any of you answer. It's just gorgeous.
Chance has said that he likes Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the song.
Mm-hmm.
Good song.
And then Amara, which is 3 years old, said to tell you hello and asked if you're being safe this year with all of the pandemic.
Amara, hello, and yes, we are being very safe. Um, we take our temperatures every day. We try to make sure that we wash our hands a lot. We try to make sure when we go out, when we're out and about, we will wear our masks. Um, and we try to keep our social distancing. But yes, we try to stay safe, and we are safe. So far, we haven't had any cases of COVID-19 up at the North Pole. Although one polar bear thought he had it, but it turned out he didn't.
He ate a bad fish.
Yeah.
How old are the elves?
The elves are older than I am. They won't tell me how old they are, especially the girl elves. The girl, when I ask a girl elf how old she is, she tells me it's none of my business. And that a gentleman should never ask a lady how old she is. So I would assume that they're all over 2,000 years old.
And then Mrs. Claus, they asked what your favorite color was.
Well, I do like red. And I mentioned earlier that I like to wear yellow in the summer, but I'm also a big fan of purple.
We only had one answer to if they've seen the Northern Lights, and Cassandra had said no, she hasn't.
Yeah. Well, every once in a while you'll get to see them here, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Oh, one thing that I want to tell all of you, or remind you, you may know it, you may not. There's going to be a planetary conjunction tonight of Saturn and Jupiter, and it's going to look like a really big star. Okay, and they're calling it the Christmas star. So you'll be able to see it tonight if you go outside and you look, and it'll be very, very bright. And you might want to go out with your mommy and daddy and take a look at that.
From the sleigh up in the sky, it's marvelous.
Guess what? I've got a mead cup.
Oh, Myra said she has to go.
Bye.
Merry Christmas, Myra.
How many do we have left online?
Well, it's 8 now.
Oh, good. It's going up.
It went down to 5 and then back up to 8. So.
Good. Kids are coming in and saying hi. Do you know that last year I was here in front of this fireplace in a chair, and kids were sitting on my lap, and we were having fun. So, but because of COVID-19, we can't do that this year, and I'm sorry that we can't, because I really enjoy having kids sit on my lap and tell me what they want for Christmas. But sometimes you can't always get what you want, even if you're Santa Claus. So I am happy that I can visit you over the computer and say hi and chit-chat and answer your questions and let you see what I actually look like when I'm not delivering toys. Because I don't always wear a coat.
Rebecca just wants to make sure that you are going to be able to make it to all the houses this year.
I will. It's not going to be as easy as it was last year. But one thing that we're doing is we're giving parents the option where if they want us to ship the toys, ship our presents to your house instead of stopping at your house, we'll do that. But the mommies and daddies have to write me a letter saying, please ship the presents to us. And they can ask that right up until the day before Christmas, which, well, it's Christmas Eve, Thursday. Okay? So if they can get word to us that they want the toys shipped instead of having us come, we can ship them. We'll ship them with magic if we have to. Anything?
AJ said you have to make sure that you go to bed on time so Santa can come.
You do have to, look, if you're awake when I come to your house, I've got to go to your neighbor's house because you're not asleep. You know, like the song says, I know if you're sleeping, I know if you're awake. So go to bed early so I can come and be at your house. Or at least act like you're asleep.
Did you get Ethan's list?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It was very well written, too. Very nice. Oh, I also got a list from an Ethan that sent me an email. So that was typed. So I got lists from both Ethans. So I got one list that was handwritten from an Ethan in Yakima, and one list that was emailed to me. So either way, I got your message. I got your letter. It was very nice. Love you too.
Nothing
How
new
we
yet.
doing? Okay. Let's see. Does anybody know if there are penguins at the North Pole? How many of you think there are penguins at the North Pole? Or are they all at the South Pole?
Asked if you enjoy tea and cookies.
I love tea and cookies. Yeah, tea's a nice change from hot chocolate.
Or milk.
Or milk. Yeah.
And then Cassandra asked if you can bring Mrs. Claus with you on Christmas this year.
I will. Well, I should
Thank
ask
you,
her.
Cassandra.
Would you like to come this year?
I'd love to.
Okay. I should ask her every year, huh? Okay, I will. Sometimes Mrs. Claus stays home because the elves are so tired. And she kind of makes sure that they get into bed and they're all nestled down in their caps and nestled down for a long winter's nap. So, but she's got stuff to do too. I couldn't be Santa Claus without Mrs. Claus. For one thing, she makes sure I brush my teeth after every meal. And with as many cookies I ate, that's a lot of toothbrushings. Yeah.
It's good for you.
I know.
We had a answer to the question of a no and a yes.
On the Aurora Borealis.
Mm-hmm.
For the ones that haven't seen the Aurora Borealis, I bet you could go to the internet on YouTube
And look
just
for pictures.
Look
Yeah.
for pictures or
There's
videos.
actually
videos of the
great Facebook of the observatory that they put a lot of pictures out.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can see in the sky. Most people spend all their time looking down at a phone or at a computer. Take some time to look up at the sky. It's wonderful. There's clouds and there's suns and moons and planets and stars and the Aurora Borealis and all kinds of things. Birds flying, planes flying, reindeer flying. Well, this time of year anyway. And every once in a while, a jolly old man in a red suit in a sleigh. Do you know what's fun? Do you know that NASA, North American Space Agency, keeps track of where I'm at every year now? You can go online and go to NASA and see where my sled is. And they did that one year because a little boy whose dad worked for NASA asked if I would give them permission to follow me around the world. And that was his Christmas wish, so I said yes. And we had so much fun doing that, we've done it every year since.
And that way you'll know when you should be going to bed.
Yeah.
So that you're not awake when Santa's going to be at your house.
And you'll get some idea of how fast I actually travel.
No, no new questions. Oh, a hello from New York City, Brooklyn.
Oh, really?
Hello, New York.
Hello, New York.
Merry Christmas.
You got you got my favorite building of all time there. You have got, well, actually two, the Chrysler Building and the Empire State Building. They're just wonderful buildings. I have to dodge them. They're really tall.
I just like the Art Deco.
Well, I didn't think we'd be going that far.
I didn't think so either.
That's amazing.
We had Ohio and New York
Yeah.
City today.
Well, it just goes to show kids look for Santa, and they will find me and I will find them. I'm sending out vibes now to any kids anywhere that want to talk to me.
Do your reindeer get tired?
Yeah, but usually that's right at the end. When they come home, the first thing I do, actually somebody asked me what do I do after I'm done delivering. The first thing I do is when we get back to the stable, we unhitch all the reindeer and we give them a good rub down, just like you have to do with horses. We give them a good rub down, we make sure they've got plenty of water, plenty of feed, new hay in their stalls, and just make sure that they're groomed and ready to go to sleep.
The only difference is there's probably more hugs when we rub down our reindeer than you would do with just a regular horse.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, they're pretty strong animals.
Natalie is asking, how do you watch them if you and Mrs. Claus are so far up in a way?
Oh, all of you kids?
Mm-hmm.
Magic glasses. See, I can actually see really well just this way, okay? But when I put my glasses on, it gives me vision like an eagle, and eagles can see from way high up. So, yep.
Then Marcel asks, what would you do if elves weren't a thing?
Oh, wow. I don't think I could make enough toys every year. I might have to just send Christmas cards.
Maybe we could train woodpeckers.
I don't know, woodpeckers would eat, peck the wood too much.
We could train them to, I don't know. It's a good question. I hope that
I,
doesn't happen.
yeah, yeah, elves are just absolutely necessary to the North Pole operation. Yeah. The good thing about it is they really love what they're doing. The reason that they work with me, remember, is because a girl elf came up and asked if she could help, and then the next year if she could bring some friends. So they're there because they want to build toys for you kids.
Alyssa asked for a new phone and mini brands.
We'll see. We normally don't do electronics. That doesn't mean I don't have any electronic stuff up at the North Pole. So we'll see if we've got any left. I'll actually have to check, but we'll see what we can do, okay? I'll have to get with my inventory elf. See, I told you, we need our elves.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while we'll get help from fairies too.
We have a question of, how do you move so fast if you eat a lot of cookies?
I eat very fast.
And the magic helps it burn off some of its calories too.
Well, yeah, magic is powered by sugar.
Yeah, true.
So, well, carbohydrates.
Which is sugar.
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 You know, gumdrops. That's got to be one of my favorite candies and licorice.
Yes.
And snow caps. And
Yes.
I can't think of, you know,
Chocolate covered cherries.
ooh, chocolate covered cherries. Maraschino cherries. Yeah, that's good stuff. And almond roca. I move fast because of magic. Magic slows time way down for me. What seems to you to be a second, for me could be a week. And a minute for you, for me, could be a year. And it's just, it's hard to explain. But when magic shifts for me, I move as fast as I have to move. And it's interesting. I always start on New Year's Eve, which means after the sun goes down. And I always end up right when the sun comes up. So the magic lets me go as fast as I have to from sundown to sun up to get all my toys delivered. And I can't tell you how that works because it's magic. I've just noticed that through the years. I told Mrs. Claus I'd be home early, and it was sun up.
And then Natalie is asking how Mrs. Claus helps.
Oh, so many ways. She makes sure that I'm dressed warm. She makes sure that I've got my book of kids. She makes sure that I keep track of what's going on during the year with the toys being built and that I'm on schedule. She makes sure that I get enough rest, because if she doesn't, sometimes I have a tendency to work too hard. She cooks for me, lets me cook for her, because I enjoy doing that. She gives me support when I'm frustrated because I'm afraid I can't get things done on time, and she just keeps my spirits up, doesn't let me give up.
I make sure that he doesn't have to go out in clothes that need patches.
That's, yeah, because sometimes my clothes get torn. I remember one year I was going to go out in a pair of pants, and I didn't realize that I had torn the seat on an antenna, and she made sure I didn't wear those pants. And then by the time I got back, she had them mended. So, but anyway, yeah, she helps all different ways.
Do elves normally go with you?
Some elves go with me, yes. Because remember, they can go back. We bring ornaments and we bring Christmas things. So if we need to have like Rudolph come because it's getting foggy out, or Harold come because one of the reindeers are tired, we can send an elf back and have them make sure that Rudolph or Harold comes.
That's all the questions for now. Our time's just about up for today. We've got about 10 more minutes. But if you didn't get to ask Santa all you wanted to today, he'll be back tomorrow
Yep.
and Wednesday from 1 to 3.
And we'd love to hear your questions.
You know, I'm thinking about that little girl Sally that we talked to on the way here. Her daddy was sick, and she was worried. And we found out today that her daddy will be getting out of the hospital tomorrow, so he'll be home in time for Christmas Eve. And I guess what I'm trying to say, that I didn't have any magic to do with that, but the doctors and the people that were taking care of her daddy made sure he got better as fast as he could. So if there's anybody in your family that's sick, know that the people that are taking care of them really care about them getting better. And if they can, they'll make sure that they get better and that everything will be all right. So try not to worry too much if somebody's sick that you know, okay? Chances are everything will turn out right.
I
Okay?
think one of the biggest things about this time of year is that just about anything is possible as long as we approach each day with love and a desire to give help to people. And by doing that, we make the world a better place.
You know, the world's getting to be so big. When I was young, I could walk and deliver all my toys without magic in a couple of hours. And now it takes magic to see all you wonderful kids. And just understand that there's real magic in the world today, okay? And just be happy, you know, and know that it's fun being a kid. And you might not think it, but if you talk to your mommy and daddy and ask them, they'll tell you that they had a lot of fun when they were a child. And you might not think this is so much fun because you're just sitting at home watching Santa on your computer, or maybe you have to do chores, okay?
We all
And it
have
might,
joy.
yeah. Mrs. Claus makes sure that I pick up my socks all the time. I got a lot of socks. But anyway, understand that it's good being you, and that you can have fun, and that's okay. All right, and enjoy yourselves.
We had a question of why do you eat a lot of cookies?
Wow,
He never met a cookie he didn't like.
that's the problem right there.
Except for one.
Yeah, it was a mud cookie.
Yeah.
Don't eat mud cookies.
And don't make mud cookies for your brothers and
Look,
sisters.
the reason I eat so many cookies is because they are gifts from you to me. You leave cookies out for me because you appreciate me bringing you toys or presents, whatever they may be. And I love the fact that you put them out for me. So I am going to eat them. Okay? And it's just such a wonderful thing when I show up. I had a little girl give me her favorite cookie. Her grandma made her cookies. Okay? And she saved one of her favorite cookies for me and left it out with a glass of milk. That cookie was so special to me, I took it to the North Pole, and Mrs. Claus put it in a special jar, and I have that cookie to this day. And I look at it before I go out every year, because that little girl gave me a special, special cookie. Okay? So I might not eat all the cookies. I might save some special ones. Because how big is our cookie museum now?
I forget.
It's huge.
We've got a lot of cookies.
So, yeah, I eat them because they're presents to me. And I like cookies.
Do you have a favorite meal?
Huh. At one time it was Christmas goose. Then it was Christmas ham. Then it was Christmas turkey. Then it was Christmas roast. And then it was a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken, because I'd never had that before. And it was kind of a potluck dinner, and Skippy Elf brought it, so I thought I'd try a piece, and that was pretty good. So the next couple of years we had Kentucky Fried Chicken for our special dinner. But I would say that my favorite all-time Christmas dinner is figgy pudding, Christmas goose, candied yams, buttered potatoes, peas, and mincemeat pie. That would be my favorite all-time Christmas dinner. But it changes. I mean, you can't hardly find figgy pudding anymore.
AJ asked if you could come into his room while he's sleeping and say goodnight to him on Christmas Eve.
Of course I will.
And then Yo-Yo said all he wants for Christmas is to spend it with his mom and dad all together.
Are they with you now? I'll wait for your answer. That's a wonderful, wonderful present to have.
And then we had the question again of what is your favorite movie, and then how do you get in people's houses without chimneys?
Oh, you're here when... Okay, Mrs. Claus is going to find my key for me. I've got a bag here, and it's a Santa bag, so there are way many things in it, and I thought I knew exactly where it was, but it was in the bottom of a candy cane wrapper. Now, see, she can't find it. I have a key, and it will open any door. All I have to do is touch the lock, and a door opens up.
And you did say that they are all together now.
Oh, that's good. So what I want you to do on Christmas, okay, and you don't have to tell them that you're going to do this. I want you to go up to each one of them Christmas morning, and I want you to give them a hug. And I want you just to give them a hug. Oh, there's my key. That's how I get in it if you don't have a chimney. That'll open up your door. I want you to go up to your mom and dad, give them a hug, not just a short hug, but a big hug where you hold on to them for a while. And while you're hugging them, tell them that you love them, okay? Just say, Mommy, I love you. Daddy, I love you. Merry Christmas. And the love that they feel will be sent to me, and I'll feel that, and you'll give Mrs. Claus and I a wonderful present too. Because what you want is a marvelous present. Thank you. Any other questions so far?
That's it for right now. We've got a couple more minutes.
Okay. For everybody that's watching tonight, for everybody that's online now, when I get to your house, we'll have the elves write down your names and addresses. I will go in your bedroom, and I will see you while you're sleeping, okay? And I'll blow you a kiss. And that's to say thank you for visiting with me and sharing your time watching me and asking me questions, okay? And watching my beautiful, lovely Mrs. Claus and my favorite elf.
Thanks for sharing your joy with us.
And
We'll be back tomorrow too. So
okay. All right. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Love you all.
see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.